Einstein The Great Gaslight, Part 6 of the Dielectric Wars vertical bar Tesla leak series. They turned a man into a myth, a patent clerk who scribbled nonsense on paper, wrapped it in equations and sold it as science. They crowned him the king of physics while burying the giants who actually touched the real forces of nature. This isn't a hit piece, it's an exhumation. A full exposure of how Albert Einstein wasn't a genius, he was a distraction, a manufactured messiah whose theories stalled physics for over a century. Einstein didn't revolutionize science, he hijacked it. He replaced substance with abstraction, fields with fantasy, and real-world engineering with math fiction illusions. This is the autopsy of the Einstein myth and the restoration of what was stolen, reality, ether, and the lost clarity of field-based physics. The real history of physics didn't begin with equations. It began with experimentation and the direct observation of phenomena. From the 1800s to the early 1900s, the field-based paradigm reigned supreme. The titans of that time weren't theorists in ivory towers. They were experimentalists, tinkerers, builders, engineers of the unseen. Michael Faraday was among the first to map the field. He didn't work with particles or hypothetical models. He visualized lines of force, literal patterns in space revealed through iron filings and dielectric materials. He introduced the very concept of the field as a region of influence, not as a probability cloud or mathematical vector, but as a tangible, structured phenomenon. Faraday was a man grounded in nature's behavior. James Clerk Maxwell took Faraday's vision and translated it into a set of field equations. Initially 20 quaternionic expressions that described how electric and magnetic fields interact and propagate through a medium. The medium was assumed. The ether, it was not questioned, it was experienced. In Maxwell's time, there was no paradox. Waves required a medium, period. Oliver Heaviside, Charles Proteus Steinmetz, and others began compressing and simplifying Maxwell's equations. But in doing so, they inadvertently cut out critical dimensions, dropping Maxwell's quaternions for the more compact but less complete vector notation. This began the abstraction process. But still, the field dominated the understanding of reality until Nikola Tesla. Tesla didn't theorize the field, he mastered it. He built devices that directly manipulated the dielectric and magnetic structures of space. His magnifying transmitter, his longitudinal wave experiments, his radiant energy receivers, all interacted with a real reactive medium. Tesla described space not as emptiness, but as a tensional field, an ether under stress. Tesla's key experimental revelations. In Colorado Springs in 1899, Tesla's experiments with extremely high-frequency, high-voltage systems revealed that longitudinal waves could propagate faster than light through the ground and atmosphere. These were not electromagnetic waves, but dielectric shock waves, compressions in the ether, not oscillations across space. Radiant energy collector. Tesla created a device to collect radiant energy from the environment, not by catching particles or waves, but by interacting with the changing electric field structure in space. It harvested field tension directly, suggesting the ether was not only real, but a source of power. Of wireless power transmission. Through Earth resonance, Tesla demonstrated that power could be transmitted without wires via longitudinal waves, not transverse electromagnetic ones. This proved the Earth itself acted as a capacitor, resonating with dielectric stress. Tesla coil geometry. His coils weren't built arbitrarily. Their geometry was critical to interfacing with the dielectric field. Every ratio, angle, and winding was tuned to induce resonant field conditions, not to push electromagnetic radiation into the air. Tesla's work was rooted in field manipulation, not particle theory. He didn't rely on fictitious photons or curved space. His explanations were mechanical and fluidic, pressure gradients, induction, compression, and rarefaction. Meanwhile, Einstein never built a machine, never performed these experiments, never interfaced with nature. He scribbled equations in isolation, assuming space was empty, then said it curved. It's not genius, it's marketing. Tesla's words: "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence." This is what was discarded when Einstein was elevated. To be continued. Chapter 2. Expansion next, detailing how E equals sign MC2 derailed physical causality.